How you doing, everybody? This is Brandon Wilkins coming to you from Washington, D.C., and today we're going to touch on a subject that's pretty near and dear to me. We're going to be talking about the need, and a lot of the times here in the city, lack thereof, of after-school programs and certain extracurricular activities, which I believe is very important in molding a young person's direction in life. For instance, I myself was never the athlete. I was never the football player, the jock. That wasn't me. I was the artsy one. I was the painter, the dancer, the instrumentalist, the poet. That's what I did. And I truly believe that that angled me in the direction of deciding to become a chef later on in my life because in that field you can be creative. You can you can let your inner visions onto your canvas, which your canvas would be a plate because you be serving food. But I honestly believe we're here in Washington D.C. that not enough focus is put on strengthening a student's imagination, the skill to look past the obvious and experience new things, which I honestly believe after after school programs played a very large toll in my own case, and I believe in a lot of my own friends and relatives and peers. Many of us went on to do a lot of good things in this world because of the support, the skill, and the guidance that we receive from certain programs. Being a part of certain teams, certain groups, it teaches you responsibility. Now, my biggest point was that I made then is that a bored child is a troubled child. That's when a lot of stuff starts happening. I believe we all have seen clips of the so-called knockout game, of just bored teenagers going around and pretty much putting people unconscious for the sole fact of being bored. This has to stop, people. And it's fully within our power to stop. But we're more focused on frivolous things. We're worried about where the next shopping mall or the next condominium is going instead of really focusing in on our future because I truly believe a guided teenager or young adult um, is a successful one. It takes a village to raise a child, and no one can do it alone. I've never been the one to blame a teacher for a student not knowing. I've never been that person. I've always understood that it was a two-way street. Have teacher, have parent. Now there's no connect. There's nothing. There's nothing. With a lot of these programs and things, you had to maintain a certain grade point average to even participate. Now, that right there to me is the key in a lot of the successes in graduating. Um, if you give a student something that they want to do and you explain to them to keep doing it, you have to do your best. A lot of us, believe it or not, hear that message and we heed to it. I honestly believe if I wasn't a band member or if I wasn't in a lot of my various clubs, that I I probably wouldn't have gone all the way through the school. To be completely honest with you, I would probably been another statistic that fell through the cracks of just of the education system. And too many of us here in this city, it has gone that way for us. Washington, D.C., to be the nation's capital, is the by far lowest performing school system in the country. We rank number 4 in the world. That's sad. That is really sad. And I honestly believe that if we put our efforts more into heightening a young adult's imagination and vision, that they will rise to the challenge, that they will be our doctors, our lawyers, our teachers. Uh, they are our chefs, our artists. It's our responsibility to nurture the next generation. And I honestly feel that not enough of it has been given to them. Here in Washington, D.C., we are now in the era of image. We focus on baseball stadiums and 25-foot floor buildings and just the image of bringing Washington, D.C. as the new hotspot. But at the same time, we have 30 people walking across the stage on graduation day out of a class of 300. The disconnect is very apparent. What do we do? What we do is we listen, we take notes, and we pretty much walk with these young people. We guide them, and at the same time allow them to guide us. And I honestly believe we will see a better day. Thank you.